What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for life, coming at you on YouTube, and tonight I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished their Week 4 matchup at Green Bay, playing the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, and I'm here to review the game. Happy fall, everyone. Happy October. It is the greatest time of year for you spooky horror fans out there, though you wouldn't be able to tell by the sound of my tone of my voice, because Pittsburgh lost once again, the third consecutive loss for the Steelers, and there's not really that much going for us, if I'm going to be honest with you. I predicted a loss in this game coming off of the two hard losses. You know, going into Lambeau and playing against Green Bay is one of the hardest things you can do, and they've been very motivated since their Week 1 blowout loss as well, so they were coming in a little bit hungry, and they're one of the best teams in the NFL. So with the struggles we've had with the offensive line and the offense and the injuries, we had a lot to make up for. By the same token, in the back of my mind, I was just thinking, okay, we got a lot healthier. We have a lot of guys back from injury. We are heavily considered the underdogs in this game. We have a lot to prove. To come in here to Green Bay and get an upset win would put the entire season back on track for us. That started off nicely. The first two drives looked really good, and then we got back down to earth. We came out on the first drive, did a really nice job. Came out, Ben was alternating between the shotgun inside handoff with Naja Harris, and then doing the read option where he would fake the handoff and then throw to the outside. James Washington, Juju were catching a few balls on the outside, Deontay Johnson especially. Green Bay jumped offside. Ben hit Deontay on a streak play. Deontay beat his guy, made a nice move, caught the ball, got into the end zone. Started off with a very nice offensive drive, opening drive touchdown, which is rare for us. That was like a big thing. And then we came out on the first drive on defense, and Devin Bush got a sack. We didn't get any sacks last week, so TJ Watt came back from injury. Hayden played today. Highsmith came back from injury. Bush came out and got a sack. So it's like, okay, we got a touchdown on the first drive. We got a sack. We're healthy again. Pittsburgh's looking good. And then ever since that, everything went downhill. Green Bay came down and got 2 touchdowns in the next 4 minutes on us. Touchdown, 3-and-out touchdown. And then came down and got a field goal. And we went into the half down, I think 17-7. There's a big play at the end of the half. Pittsburgh is down by a touchdown. It might even have been tied at that point. Pittsburgh goes down. They block a field goal. Minka Fitzpatrick comes in on special teams, blocks a Green Bay field goal attempt, picks the ball up and runs it back, 90 yards for a Steeler touchdown, which was called back on an offside penalty. It was said that Joe Hayden was offsides, but in playing the replay back, the ball was being snapped simultaneously. There was ball movement at the same time as player movement, and the players had not jumped off sides until the ball was already snapped. So that's a questionable call. That is a 10-point swing. Instead of Green Bay getting a field goal, Pittsburgh would have gotten a touchdown. So that's 7 points for us and -3 for them. We would have gone into the half. I think it would have been tied at that point. I'm trying to think of the score, but it would have been very close and would have made the game entirely new. But that play didn't go in our favor, whether or not you want to say. It was a very close play. It could have been called a penalty, or it could have been not called. It was that close. It was a bang play. The refs made the call. But again, we don't look at solo calls as being the reason for losing games. We lost this game 27-17, and honestly, it could have been further apart than that. So we have a lot to work on both ends. Offensively, I want to talk about the biggest portion of blame today, and that goes to Ben Roethlisberger. This offensive line obviously wasn't great. We played today without Chuks Okorafor, which might have been an upgrade, to be honest with you, because I didn't notice Joe Haeg. Joe Haeg started today, and I didn't see any really bad plays out of Joe Haeg. I'm sure he wasn't great, but losing Okorafor might have been addition by subtraction, because Okorafor has been one of the worst ones all season. The other 4 guys were healthy, but not saying much out of that. Not a great group, but we did run the ball a little more effectively today. Najee played pretty well. Ben Roethlisberger was a problem today. I mentioned last week that he was one of the biggest weak links in last week's game, and I started to question him for the first time in a long time. I'm going to do the same thing today. Ben flat out missed a lot of receivers today. He was not looking comfortable. Some of his footwork was a little choppy. He did have a lot of guys in the backfield at different times. The line did not play great again, so you're going to have that all season long, where we have 2 rookies starting. We have Banner injured. It's going to be a work in progress. But Ben missed several receivers. People give these wide receivers a lot of crap and saying they're not getting open, they're not playmakers, they don't run routes, they don't get open downfield. I'm going to disagree, especially today. I've been a defender of these receivers for the most part, and today was a good example. They got open. Ben did hit Deontay for the only passing touchdown of the game on that first drive. After that, he missed a lot of key stuff. He missed Juju 3 different times in this game, including 2 for touchdowns. One was like on the 25 or 30 yard line, on the opposing 25 or 30 yard line. Ben went through it. Juju was on some kind of a pattern down the middle. Was curling. I think it was like an outside in. He was curling back in. Had several steps on the guy. There was an over the top safety who had a bad angle on the play, but Juju had a few steps on it, so it was a bit of a tight window. But Juju got himself a crease. He was open. Ben could have hit that. Juju would have walked in for a touchdown. That's 7 points off the board right there. He missed Juju again on another. I think it was like a second down play, and then he missed Juju again for a touchdown. Juju was 1-on-1 on the outside. It was kind of like he was going for a straight slant or for a straight go, and then kind of curled back inside. Got himself open. It was a 1-on-1, so Juju would have had to have broken a tackle or outstrided the guy to get to the end zone, because that was like on our 20-yard line, so he would have had to go 80 yards. But Juju had a step on the guy, and there was no safety over the top, so that could have easily been another touchdown. That's, again, 14 points off the board. We lost this game by 10. That is 14 points off the board that Ben missed. Ben also missed Deontay Johnson. I'm not sure if it was a second down or third down. Could have been a conversion, but it was like 20, 25 yards down the field. Deontay got himself wide open, skied for the ball, jumped and tried to high point it, and the ball was still a foot over his head. So that's at least 4 key misses, including 2 touchdowns, that Ben missed badly on today. The receivers got themselves space a lot, and Ben did not make it work. So he's been kind of the biggest piece. And again, I know he's playing with rookie offensive linemen, a line with no cohesion, a rookie running back. Chase Claypool didn't play today at wide receiver, so I know there's all these excuses, but Ben is a veteran. Ben knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for a long time. He's the 8th quarterback in history to throw for, 400 touchdowns, or what was the record today? He hit that touchdown mark today. He's one of the top 10 arguable quarterbacks of all time. You can't miss that many guys with a young team like this and a team that's been struggling and expect to win the game, especially on the road against Green Bay, a team like that. Not going to happen. Ben did not play great. Again, the offensive line gets no help from me here, especially, who did I call out? Dan Moore Jr., another big penalty. Again, we have to stop getting penalties on offense when your team is a very, check down kind of team. We do a lot of shotgun inside handoffs, a lot of dump offs to Najee, a lot of 3-yard passes to our receivers trying to break tackles. Our offense is very rudimentary and very basic and very check down now. So when you don't have a lot of routes and a lot of complicated stuff, and your quarterback has no confidence, and your running back's a rookie, you cannot have penalties like this. When you give up early down sacks and penalties, and you get to 2nd and 20, 2nd and 25, 1st and 20, you're not going to make those up. This offense is too young and too conservative, and no one's playing particularly well besides the 2 guys I'll call out here. But no one's playing that well. You're not going to make those up, especially on the road against a hot crowd. It's not going to happen. So penalties, still a problem. Offensive line, still a problem. Ben, biggest problem today. Also, this play calling, what are we doing? This is the 2nd week in a row that we did this multiple times. It was 4th down and 5 or 4th down and 8. And we threw a 0-yard or a 2-yard pass just beyond the line of scrimmage. It's impossible. It's never going to work. When you're a dump-off team, everyone knows you're going to dump off. Why are you throwing the ball shorter than the sticks on 4th down? That drives me crazy. When you're on 3rd down or 4th down, you never throw the ball shorter than the sticks unless you're trying to get your field goal kicker an easier field goal and you want to dump it off to get some of the yardage made up. Other than that, when it's 3rd or 4th down and 10 or less, you always throw beyond the sticks. You go for that 1st down unless you have a guy walking just wide open free. And we don't have that because all we do is check down or throw the ball down the field and just pull and pray. We never take legitimate shots. We don't run deep routes. We don't mix the play calling up. So why, for the 2nd week in a row, and we did it at least 3 times today, twice on 4th down and once on a 3rd down, we're throwing the ball way, way, way short of the sticks when there's defenders right there and there's no chance. Even if the ball's caught, there's no chance. You're still 10 yards short of where you want to be. What the hell is this play calling? I don't like conservative, giving the ball away, admitting defeat on offense. You've got a chance with this defense. You can make splash plays. Why are you not helping out your team? Why is this offense so defeated already? I don't like the play calling. Add that into the offensive line and Ben and all the other crap we're going through on offense. Here are the numbers. Big Ben, 26 of 40, 232 yards. A lot of that kind of was just dump downs. The one nice throw to Deontay Johnson, that was really about it. A couple throws to James Washington, who made a few plays today. But 26 of 40, 232, one touchdown, one bad interception. I don't know where that ball was going. Also one fumble. He was back there on this, I think, second or third drive. He actually had time on this play. He just held the ball too long. He had a check down open. He didn't look to Najee. He kind of held the ball and fumbled, so that's on Ben. Naja Harris was one of our 2 stars on offense today. 15 carries, 62 yards, and a touchdown. He dove over the pile for a nice goal line touchdown today. Ran pretty well. Not too many plays were called back this time for holding. There were less holdings than usual, so that's a positive. Najee got to show what he can do a little bit. Also 6 catches for 29 yards. He's good on the backfield. He's good in short yardage situations. He runs hard. He falls forward. He finishes plays. I love the fact that he's carrying bodies. I like what Najee is doing. His numbers aren't too gaudy. He's not getting to show too much because he's being keyed on right now, but he's still making plays out there. Deontay Johnson is my other positive. No drops today. He continues to catch everything that is in his radius that can be caught. 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Had the one nice long one, made a few other nice snags, and made a few guys miss. Again, what Pittsburgh is doing is throwing the 4 to 6 yard out and making the receivers make guys miss. Deontay did it several times today. Also, again, I didn't write down the specific stats, but I think also James Washington, who came in for Chase Claypool today, had 65 yards receiving as well. He made a few plays downfield. He needs a chance to get the ball more. Also, Pat Freiermuth only had 1 target today. I think that's 3 targets in the last 2 weeks. 1 target, 1 catch for 12 yards. Get this guy the ball more. If you want to do quick dump offs and you want to get rid of the ball, a tight end is a quarterback's best friend. I know he's a rookie. I know he's probably new at running the NFL routes. But if Ben is nervous and the offensive line's not giving us time, throw the ball to your tight end more. Dump it off to him. Let him run some guys over. That's what he does. Get Freiermuth the ball more. Also, Juju, I think he only had 5 targets today. 3 of them were way over his head, like I said, not his fault. 1 catch for 11 yards. All right, maybe it was 2 catches for 11 yards. You got to get Juju more involved. You got to throw the ball to him better. You got to let him make plays. 2 catches for 11 yards for your star wide receiver when your offense is struggling like that. Not okay. Not okay at all. Defensively, a couple of splash plays. TJ Watt, 2 sacks. One was on Rodgers falling down. The other was kind of legit, I guess. I think both of them were scramble plays that Rodgers had nowhere to go. But Watt gets 2 sacks and a fumble recovery in this game that was forced by Chris Wormley. So give Wormley the credit for a forced fumble on Aaron Jones, which was nice. Devin Bush also got a sack on the first play and also got another tackle for a loss. So he had a couple decent plays today. Didn't cover all of that well, but wasn't in coverage too much. So made a few plays today. Also, like I mentioned, the blocked field goal and the block, the recovery, and the touchdown by Fitzpatrick that was called back. We had a hard time defending on the pass today. Hard time tackling as well. Aaron Jones had a decent day minus his fumble. Also, A.J. Dillon, the backup running back, played really well against us today. We couldn't tackle the running backs. They were making nice moves on us. They were getting open, finding lanes. So we didn't get enough penetration. I know 2 of our defensive linemen were out today. No Tuitt and no Alu. Those guys are done for I think Alu's done for the season. Tuitt's back soon, hopefully. But didn't get enough penetration in the front 3. Honestly, didn't get enough penetration from the front 7 in general. I saw Highsmith and Watt make a few plays, but we didn't get enough as like we usually do today. So Rodgers had too much time. So Jones played pretty well. Dillon played really well. The 2 wide receivers, Randall Cobb had 2 touchdowns. Played really nice today for him. And also Devonte Adams, who's one of the top 3 receivers in the NFL, maybe even the best, did some stuff against us today. So hard time covering. Hayden didn't have the best game. I thought Sutton played pretty poorly today in coverage. Couple of times that even Terrell Edmonds got beat as well. A couple of times underneath. The tight ends didn't do much. Tanyan was quiet today, but Aaron Jones got a couple underneath things. I think that was on the inside linebackers. So, tackling, pressure, and coverage weren't great today. when you got a team like the Packers that got hot after the first drive. There's not much you're going to do. So Packers win this game 27-17. Pittsburgh starts hot in the first 2 drives and goes away after that. Again, too many fourth down concessions, too many penalties to end drives, too many throwing the ball too short, too much pressure on the quarterback. Not feeling too good about that. Fix the play calling, fix the offensive line, fix Ben's decision making, start throwing the ball down the field and try to open up a little bit so you get your rookie some lanes to run the ball. Get a little more diverse on offense, get a little more pressure on defense, and stay healthy. So we fall to 1-3, and we're playing against Denver next week. Teddy Bridgewater went out today in Denver at halftime with concussion protocol. So if he's not playing next week, we got a shot. If he is playing next week, it's still a pick'em game, but I would think Denver would be the favorite next week, even though we're at home and Denver's an average team. But they've got a lot of good pass rushers, and they're playing pretty good football and not turning it over too much. So I don't have much faith in Pittsburgh winning anything anytime soon, but we've got pieces. Deontay played great. Najee played great. Watt and Highsmith are back, and they were pretty effective today in certain spots. So we got a chance. With this defense, we always got a chance, but the offense has to play better. We have to play cleaner football and make better decisions in play calling. Tell me in the comments below what you guys thought. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like these Steeler deep dive breakdowns. Boswell made a 50-plus yard field goal. He doinked it off the post and kicked it in. Presley Harvin did shank one punt that went really badly from his own end zone, but then also kicked the ball inside their 5 in the next punt, so he made up for a bad punt with a good punt. McLeod with a few decent returns today. So that's your feedback on this game. Tell me in the comments below who stood out to you for good and bad and why, and I will see you guys soon. Go Steelers.